Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MXGP 2020. Continuing on with our championship, it's now time for Kegums in Latvia. So here we are, waiting for the grids to drop, and they have dropped. Of course, it's a very quick start in MXGP 2020, and it's good to see we have a dry session for once. Most of these races have been wet so far, as Kegums has taken over at the front with the whole shot. We're trying to dive on the inside of a couple of riders. That was beautifully done, especially since we started technically at the back of the grid, or at least to the side of the grid, as Jeremy Siwa up into third position, Tony Cairoli in second, and of course Kegums just leading up a little bit further ahead. You can see the man on board the Kawasaki. Now, of course, going on the right-hand side, a little bit of a leap here. We'll be trying to chase down Jeremy Siwa, our fellow Yamaha user, if you will say, or rider, let's say. And we'll try and chase him down now as we get a little bit out of shape on the landing there. But we're quite okay as we jump into the berm. We'll try and get in behind Siwa and begin to chase him down. Not only him, but of course, Cairoli and Kegums as well. But a nice big leap here, trying to go around the outside to see what's probably not going to stick there. But I've got to say something I don't even think I've mentioned yet. I absolutely adore this track here in Kegums. Brilliant track. I really enjoy it. I think it's one of the best tracks in the MXGP calendar, so I am very poised for a victory right here today. We're trying to dive on the inside of Jeremy Siwa. That has worked out. And Siwa is now... Oh, Siwa came back. I was just going to say, he's been dethroned and he's now been pushed back to fourth, but he decided to do that to me. Oh, it's Kegums Desal's gone down. Desal has gone down. Carnage already in this MXGP Race 1 in Kegums. Goodness me. Carnage already. You knew it was coming. There always is. Cairoli got a little bit out of shape, and so did Grant, just a metre or a couple of metres behind. Big jump now going on the right hand side, getting him into the rear of Cairoli's. All the dirt and dust and spitting up into my face there, as now we try and dive over the inside. That is a beautiful tight apex from the man who is currently leading the World Championship. He is holding on to that red plate, of course, having a pretty decent start this season and really much enjoying it as we now dive over the inside of Cairoli. Cairoli cannot defend against that one. Grant is just too strong. Wonderfully done there for Grant. Beautifully done, actually. As we now go on to the right-hand side, Jeremy Siwa has now taken control over second place after getting ahead of Cairoli, who was in the second position just briefly. As we now get a big jump there as we get a little bit out of shape. Oh, that was a bit close. I must say the scrubs are a little bit harder to do on this game compared to Monster Energy Supercross, the official motocross video game 4. Not as quite as easy to sort of land and maintain the amount of speed and the height that you require. Good job so far from Grant. He is in the lead and quite comfortably now, may I add. Good a couple of tenths of a second, perhaps even a second, or maybe even more, just ahead of Jeremy Siwa and of course the Italian, the 9 times world champion Tony Cairoli. And it seems I've made a mistake there, because Cairoli is now up into second position, just trailing by a tenth, or at least a 1 second and a tenth. Now onto the left-hand side we go, trying to make sure that we can keep on pushing forward. This is the sort of part of the track that I might struggle a bit, might lose a little bit of time to Cairoli and the likes of the guys behind us, but we'll continue to do what we do best, and that's lead. But I didn't expect Cairoli to dive up on the inside already. The Italian is now leading, but Grant, the British rider, dives right up on the inside and is now leading back here in Kegums. Beautifully done as Cairoli dives up the inside. What a move from the Italian. Certainly serious about. Grant's gone down. Oh no! Oh, that was a heavy crash as we bumped this sort of little panelling on the right-hand side there. The man from the Yamaha went absolutely flying. Not in a positive way. It's been now getting shoved out of the way now. Kegums Desal, yeah, we get it. He's pretty miffed from his mistake early on in this race, but he's now taking it out on the young man who was in second place, or at least was in first place just earlier on, but now pushed down to 6th place. There is Jeffrey Hurlings. We mentioned Cairoli. There's his teammate, Jeffrey Hurlings. He's not having quite the same success as Grant. Whoa, got a little bit close there to the outside of the track. Thought we'd be falling down into some sort of ditch, as if we were in a farmland somewhere. But right now, Kegums Desal is in our sights. We're going to get closer and closer, or at least hope so, if we can get closer and closer by just continuing to push forward and doing what we do best. Big jump into the outside, or to the wider part of the track. We're trying to get these little bits of berms and jumps nailed, because that's exactly what we need for this Muddy Monday session. And of course, Kegums Desal, Hurlings just a little bit further ahead. They are in our sights. We're not going to try and do another scrub there. Probably wise to do one as it will probably reduce a bit of height for us. But right now, onto the right-hand side, DeSalle, Hurlings, Febvre, Cairoli, Siwa's up there somewhere as well. I do believe it is currently just Cairoli leading, and Jeremy Siwa's not too far away, but Tim Geiss has just gone down, the same place that DeSalle met his demise just a couple of laps ago. But of course, 2 laps are remaining. We are on the shortest sort of distance here in MXGP 2020, trying to get both videos done each week, of course, with Monster Energy Supercross 4, the official motocross video game. I went full title there, as you've probably heard many times before. But Tony Cairoli and Jeremy Siwa are battling it out for the win. And once again, Cairoli beaten by a Yamaha, and he's now beaten by the Kawasaki of Roman Febvre. Febvre is now up into the lead with Jeffrey Hurlings just ahead of us in 4th place. A podium could definitely be on the cards, on the table, just for DrAce right now. Of course, if we're going to play any card, we want to be playing an ace, because that is DrAce's specialty, as you know. But now onto the left-hand side, Hurlings is right there as well. Be careful, getting our bum into the back of the seat, trying to push the suspension down, and goodness me, what on earth has just happened there? I did not see that coming. What was that? What in the Lord's name has just happened there? We looked like we were going to land there absolutely fine, but something happened, and no, it was not absolutely fine. It was quite the contrary, to be quite honest with you. But now we trail behind DeSalle and Hurlings once again. All that work and all that effort to be done once more, because of course something has just occurred. I actually don't know what happened there. It looked like I was going to land it absolutely fine, and the game said, nah, I think not. But we go in behind DeSalle now. I do feel we can get 5th place. 4th place might be a little bit out of our range right now, unless something absolutely massive happens. And speaking of massive, I've just jinxed the Kawasaki man. Roman Febvre has gone down, and we are now going to take over in 5th place, because of course he is now starting with at least a lack of momentum after crashing just a moment ago. But this is going to get very close now between the 2 Kawasaki men and the Yamaha. Who's going to be out on top? Febvre's going to try and dive with the inside. Brilliantly done up on the inside of Febvre. Can we get Clement DeSalle the same way? Oh, beautifully done. Lovely tight apex going into that right-hander. Siwa and Cairoli are still battling it out to the death to the end of this Grand Prix. But of course, race 1 here in Kegums, it's Cairoli time, isn't it? The last 2 minutes, the last couple of laps, Cairoli time is in effect, as Cairoli now leads out of Jeremy Siwa. I'd love to see this battle just up ahead, but unfortunately can't quite see anything yet, because in the helmet cam all we can see is my own little hands and everything doing the business, and Tony Cairoli wins. Jeremy Siwa in 2nd, Jeffrey Hurlings 3rd, and Grant with the red plate finishes in 4th. So a good result for Grant, not the best, but of course, thinking bigger picture, we still have a chance of winning the Grand Prix if we can finish well in race 2. And race 2 is right here. Of course, it's raining once again, but now a decent start in Kegums is what's required. A potential hole shot if we can dive at the inside of Febvre, but brilliantly done there from another Yamaha. I think it was Siwa, but Grant does take the hole shot. The Fox's hole shot goes to Grant. Magnificently done, wonderfully done, beautifully done. There's just not enough metaphors to describe how good that really was. Of course, going for the wider line now, because we can't quite get the bike positioned into that nice tighter line that I usually go for. And of course, swerving across the track is not ideal. But of course, another wet session here in MXGP 2020. I have no idea why we're getting so many wet sessions, but hey ho, it looks like it's raining here in Kegums as we get a little bit sideways there with a big scrub, you could say, but breaking into the nice tight apex of that berm. Beautifully done. Nice little jump going into the decline of that corner, and we'll be trying to do the same as we cut the corner a little bit. The game almost did a metaphorical slap on the wrist there, but thankfully we're still alright, leading quite comfortably now. 2 minutes of this session remain until, of course, the dreaded 2 laps hit. The Cairoli time, which at least usually occurs in real life, may or may not occur in the video game format. So of course Grant leads by 1.5 seconds to Tony Cairoli. He isn't too far away from taking the Grand Prix winners. What on earth are we doing on the top of the berm? Big mistake there, coming in from the man who's holding on to the red plate right now. Little bit of a mistake just starting off in this Grand Prix, or at least race 2 of this Grand Prix here in Kegums. Mistakes have been made already for the young and inexperienced Matt Grant. Of course, you didn't see it, but in MX2 I did win the championship on board a Honda, so of course it is nice to be battling it out with the best of them and recording my results for you guys to enjoy and of course to commentate on top. That's the best part about it, doing the commentary afterwards. It's just so good. But now onto the right hand side we go for that lovely tight apex once again. Of course, it's entirely up to you and how you do your lines, but that one for me is certainly how I like to do business around Kegums. But now into the left hand side, careful on the exit of the track. Oh no way, speaking of exit of the track, I didn't want it. Now we've gone down. Grant has just dropped the bike. I can understand if you're going to get back onto the track, but now we've got an absolute mammoth of a task to get back into it and try and dethrone some of the riders in their valuable positions right now, so we can earn some wonderful championship points. Around the outside of the berm and around the outside of Cervellin, we're now going to try and jump up the inside of Jorge Prado for this next corner. You betcha. Really hard on the brakes there, chucking in a bit of rear brake as well, just to slow the motorcycle down pretty promptly. Now the Swiss ride ahead of us, Jeremy Seewer, he will be dethroning or relinquishing his position of third place in just a moment's time, because we have now really got the bit between our teeth. We understand that we made a little bit of a hash, well, a massive hash, since we did crash the bike and chuck it to the scenery. Now we've got to try and do all that work again. All the donkey work right now is being done by Tony Cairoli. Clement Desal in second position, as Jeremy Seewer gets a lovely scrub there. 10 out of 10 for Jeremy Seewer on board that Yamaha for that wonderful scrub. Certainly makes you proud to be a fan of the MX bikes when you see that stuff happening. Now we're into the tight berm here. Desal went for the same line. Seewer went for the same one. I do believe even Tony Cairoli went for something rather similar. A little bit of a... Oh, what on earth had happened then? I've done that line so many times, but the game said, metaphorical slap on your wrist. Get back to where you once were. You're not coming in, sunshine. 5 seconds is usually what you get if you do cut the corner, but there you go. It just walked me straight back there and said, no, do it again. So of course we're doing it again. We now try and chase down Tim Geiser on board the Honda. Do we get close enough to him? Not quite. Tim Geiser was certainly good on that exit to that corner. I was too busy watching him and I didn't even pay attention to the mess I was doing on the acceleration there. I was just accelerating way too much, and you could see the bike just spinning and pirouetting in the dust. Not ideal, let me tell you. But look at all that dirt getting kicked up into our face right now. Tim Geiser's booting it all, and maybe he's getting a little bit of a kick and every now and again of just big fistful of dirt and just launching it in Grant's way just to try and prohibit him from chasing him down. Of course, that isn't a feature in the video game, but wow, if it was, that'd be something else. Now onto the right-hand side, Tim Geiser, the number 243, the 2017 World Champion, I do believe. He is in range, but he is still holding on to fourth position, our fourth position, because I want to take it back. If we're going to have any chance of winning the Grand Prix itself, we need to start moving forwards and start earning some valuable points. Of course, we did only finish in fourth place in the first race. We're here in race 2. We want to make sure we're into the podium positions, or even better still, on the top pile of the podium positions would be even better. Tim Geiser, lovely sort of scrub into that corner. I don't really have the same amount of confidence to scrub in every corner as we just bump the inside of Tim Geiser. I do apologise there to the Slovenian. That was not exactly intentional. I was trying to push past him, but not aggressively to the point where I would want him to crash. Of course, Tim Geiser, one of my favourite riders. I certainly wouldn't want to do that to Big Tim. We're going around the outside of TG. Do we have a chance going underneath the city sign? Nice big leap. Is he up on the inside to the right? I don't think so. Grant has held onto that position extremely well. Now Tony Cairoli has dropped not only one position, but he's dropped 2 positions. Clement Desal is now leading ahead of Jeremy Seewer, and Cairoli into third position. I did panic a little bit thinking we touched the sort of whatever it was, the signage on the left hand side of the screen, and then bumped us almost into that little bit of a... Oh, wow! Jesus! Tony Cairoli almost pushed me into the post box there. At least it looks like what his grand tires up at the inside. Beautifully done there to reclaim third position. Tony Cairoli certainly chucking the gloves off here and bashing into me into that particular corner, but we managed to survive, and we now try and pursue Jeremy Seewer. If we can't win the race, we want to be top Yamaha man, as the Kawasaki leads from Yamaha and Yamaha, and of course KTM of Tony Cairoli. We're trying to do the same thing now. The biggest thing I'm finding with this sort of conditions like this, which are rather treacherous, make sure you are smooth accelerating around this circuit. You don't want to be full acceleration every corner, because you're just going to spin up the rear and make absolutely no ground. but just being gentle on the acceleration, sort of being calm, sort of casual, just working our way forwards. We have closed in beautifully to Jeremy Seewer. Actually, not only just Jeremy Seewer, Clement Desal as well. And of course, this is the final lap. If we are going to take second place, we're going to need to just sort of up our game a little bit. Clement Desal still leads, but he looks like he's getting caught up by not only Jeremy Seewer, but Grant as well. This could be one magnificent finish. We went for the tight apex once again. You know what I said earlier on about that being my preferred line into that particular destination. We'll continue to push forwards, trying to cut as much of the corner as possible. They're getting a little bit cheeky. I did expect the game to give us another slap on the wrist, but right now, not required. On the right-hand side, we'll go. Look at his diving on the inside of Jeremy Seewer. What a wonderful move that was there for Grant. And I'll tell you what, we absolutely nailed that corner. Look at the way we're doing this one now. Look at the performance. We are closing in already on the man who's on the Kawasaki. Could this be one magnificent finish? 0.9 of a second on the left-hand side of your screen there really doesn't say exactly how close this is right now, because we have been super quick into this final sector. Clement Desal has made another little bit of mistake there. We'll go for the tight apex here. We could have a chance. Oh, Desal made a mistake. Desal made a mistake. Grant is into the lead. The Yamaha. Oh, Desal back up into the lead. The number 25 is ahead of the number 461. Desal, what can he do? Grant around the outside. Go on, Grant is going to get it. Brilliantly done. Whoa! What a finish! Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, what a finish! That final lap, that was absolutely unbelievable. We were in third position, so we didn't only just beat Jeremy Seewer, we beat the Kawasaki man Clement Desal as well. What a finish! A quick recap of race 2 is Grant wins from Desal and Jeremy Seewer on the podium, Cairoli in 4th and Tim Geiser in 5th position. But what I'm most curious about now is, did we win the Grand Prix? And absolutely unbelievable we did. We finished joint points with Tony Cairoli, both finishing a race 1 or 2 with a victory and a 4th position. But ultimately, we set the faster lap time out of the two of us, therefore giving us the Grand Prix win. Grant, Cairoli, Seewer are your Grand Prix podium finishers. Take a look at Grant holding that red plate sign as he wins another Grand Prix this season. That will be his second Grand Prix win already in such a young season. So those are the championship results. They are as follows. Grant leads with 127 points. Jeremy Seewer also on board a Yamaha is trailing just behind with 96 points. And a further 2 points behind is Clement Desal with 94. So guys, as always, thank you very much for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and especially enjoyed that finish. Like, comment and subscribe if you did, and hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single DrAce upload. On that note guys, thanks for watching, and ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now, with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.